Like, we end up on Animal Planet, and I found something, and y'all gotta promise not to get freaked out when I tell you this. I was on YouTube one day, and I found out that ducks actually got bigger dicks than everybody in here. Swear to God. Yo, did you know that a duck's dick can grow up to 15 inches, twisted, spiked, and corkscrewed? And that shit'll get used more like a weapon than something you think was for making love or life at all. And in response, female ducks evolved their vaginal canals into mazes. They started with twists and turns to stop the sperm of unwanted invaders. I read this shit and I learned how even here, whenever men become animals, it falls on women to evolve past it. I learned that 40% of duck sex is forced, and almost 1 in every 4 women in America is sexually assaulted. I learned that a duck's dick is twisted, spiked, and screwed, but twisted men will spike drinks to screw a new non-consenting woman every 68 seconds. I learned that evolving don't always look like a maze, but a mace, like a razor blade or a set of house keys or a stay on the phone with me until the buzzard stops circling. Did you know that both man and mallards were omnivores? We got a tendency to consume everything. We'll ask, what do you bring to the table while we're trying to put you on it? While running for Congress in Missouri, Todd Akin stated in cases of legitimate rape that women can just transform inner mechanisms and prevent their own pregnancies, but now both the men in Congress and the creep on date night think signing a bill will make him entitled to your eggs. Expects to dictate what comes into a body and comes out of a body, but is probably part of the 80% of us that will never make her come at all. Ask why she come out so late, why she come wearing that, do everything to hold her back, then ask why she ain't come forward, come up with questions like what come first, the mother or the egg, when the answer is whatever the fuck she chose. Every woman I know has got to beware of birds. Waterfowl just trying to make her water break without consent, because it doesn't matter if you rather row versus wade in the water if all we think about is drowning. An exception for rape just means you are only allowed to control your body after someone else already has. And history tells me I am just black enough to relate to that, but still man enough to be bird of a feather. Because if I look like a duck and quack like a duck, you won't be able to tell me and a monster apart from across the street, from in Congress, from building a nest in your own family tree. You see, America, it don't just got a rape problem. The world has got a rape culture. And this time we stop ducking the motherfucking issue, because this is where I got to talk about the nights my mother has spent scrubbing feathers from her skin, or that my sister looks at men the way an endangered species looks at a hunting knife. Like, that ain't the problem. That the only folks supposed to care about rape seem to have to either just witness or survived it. How society rather everybody have a story than a voice or a vote or a vested interest in change. Well, nigga, it's duck season, and I'm aiming at every motherfucker who thinks they own the sky, because as quickly as I raise my weapon, I have to look at my own reflection. I have to point at my own privilege. You see, my words are pretty, but a swan really ain't too far from a duck, and a poem does not make me a savior. It is really easy to walk on water when you have webbed feet, and if I can't be accountable or hold the brothers that look like me accountable, then what am I getting on mics for? Why am I taking the time? Because, you see, maybe the women around us wouldn't constantly have to evolve to survive if we did. Just once. Thank you.